Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I am Adam. I'm outside Old Trafford, where Manchester United have been absolutely beaten and battered. I say battered, the scoreline isn't a battering, but that's how it feels after today. I feel beat up, I feel bruised, I feel disappointed, I feel gutted. The club has absolutely had its heart ripped out. This day felt like, I'm not going to say it felt like a turning point. I'm not going to say that it felt like a turning point because it wasn't a turning point. It's going to take a lot to get the Glazers and Woodward out of this club. And the fans just turning on them aren't going to get rid of them. If that was the case, we would have got rid of them in 2005, 2009, 10, 11. We would have got rid of them then if it was a case of us turning on them, would get rid of them. But today felt like a different day. It felt like a very poignant day. It felt like a day that we'll remember for a long time. It felt like the culmination of the Glazers' ownership and the Glazer running of Manchester United had all just come up in that today. Empty seats in the stadium, the pitch, the players that were out there on the pitch, quite simply not good enough. The manager that's in the dugout, probably not good enough. The fans disappointed, disheartened, walking out the ground early. It all felt like a culmination of the Glazer ownership, and it all started in 2005, let's be real. This started in 2005. This started when the Glazers arrived here. It was delayed by Sir Alex Ferguson's genius. It was delayed by Sir Alex Ferguson being able to work something out of nothing, to get a midfield of Nani, Cleverley, Anderson and Young winning titles. We relied on Sir Alex Ferguson's genius. He covered up for these Glazers. And now what we're seeing is, as a result of the decision making made by those that run the club, made by those that own the club, decision making with managers, decision making with players, decision making with who signs those players, who runs the club from top to bottom. The stadium is even going backwards and disintegrating. You look at everything around Manchester United, and that today felt like a big moment for Manchester United. And whether it's one that signifies and is really a example of where it all started to go wrong for Manchester United, or whether it's a turning point and a start for us to get better, I'm not too sure which one of those it is. The optimist in me and the glass half full guy in me will make me think this is the moment where everything starts to turn and we start to realise that we need to change if we want to be successful. But I don't trust those that own this club to make the right decisions. I don't trust those that run this club to make the right decisions. And look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer might not be the man for the job. I said this when he was given the job, and we can all agree on whether Ole is the man for the job or not. We can all agree or disagree on whether players are good enough for Manchester United or not. But one thing that we cannot disagree on as Manchester United fans is that these Glazers are the are the reason for where we are at the moment. We cannot skirt over that fact. It's just that simple. Now you look at the game as 90 minutes. How you doing, brother? You alright? You look at the game as 90 minutes, and today we didn't deserve to win. Ole got some things wrong. I feel like he got his selection wrong. I would have liked to have maybe seen Angel Gomez start. I would have liked to have seen a little bit different. It was way too slow for Manchester United today. And you look at that, did Ole get his substitutions wrong? Did Ole get his selection wrong? Did Ole get his tactics wrong? Well, yeah, United lost the game. I agree with all those things if you're going to say that. So please hear me out when I say, when I'm saying these things, because I'm not excusing Ole for what we're seeing. Ole, is here, and what he's doing with this squad is, in some games you could argue that he should be doing better. But overall, where we are is probably where we should be. Where we are is probably where we should be when you think of the decision making we've made. So it's a difficult one to judge. Ole is clearly not the manager to bring trophies back to Manchester United and the trophies that we want back to Manchester United. So that's besides the point. But would we be doing better after this 6-7 years of investment into players? Would we be doing any better with any different manager? I don't think so. When you look at that today, Maguire and Jones at the centre-back positions trying to play out from the back in this era of football with them two, they can't pass wind. Wan-Bissaka and Williams, two great fullbacks, but Their best years are yet to come. Midfield of Matic and Fred, not good enough. Not good enough. Up top, Martial, his best years are to come. Right now, he needs to be more consistent, he needs to improve, he needs to do all those kind of things, but, you know, it's not the finished article in any of those positions. You look at anywhere on that pitch, we haven't got the finished article. We're either waiting for players to hit their best years, we're waiting for players to develop, we're waiting for players, or we've got players that used to be good and aren't good anymore, or just quite simply aren't good enough. You look at the likes of Andreas Pereira. God loves a trier, he's a trier. He puts effort into everything. You can't doubt that. Quite simply though, he's not good enough. Quite simply, he's not good enough. And that's where we are at the moment. We've got a mishmash of a squad. We've got a manager that's out of his depth. We've got owners that don't care what happens on the football pitch. We've got owners that don't care what's going on in the decision-making department. We've got Woodward, who's a clown, making decisions. This club is all over the shop. Absolutely all over the shop. And I can't see where this ends. I can't see where this ends. It's only going to get worse. Change the manager if you want. But is it going to get any better? I don't think so. And that's not me again. I have to repeat this. I'm not defending Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is not a defence of him. This is not me saying give Ole time. This is not me saying any of those things. Look, managers have all made wrong decisions at this club. Whether you're Sir Alex Ferguson deciding to appoint David Moyes, whether you're David Moyes deciding to sign Marouane Fellaini, whether you're Van Gaal deciding to sell some of the likes of Raphael and players that could still be doing the job for us, or whether you're Jose Mourinho and you decide to sign Alexis Sanchez and upset Anthony Martial in the midst of his best season, or you decide to burn the house down and get yourself sacked. Regardless of what bad decisions those managers made, or regardless of whether they deserve to get sacked or not, the main reason why we are in this position is because of the Glazers or Woodward's decision making. People say the Glazers are clever. People say the Glazers are billionaires. They must be clever. But how? If you're a billionaire, yeah, and you're so fucking clever, why would you let an accountant run the biggest football club in the world? Surely you'd get a professional in to do that. That's like me hitting the lotto. Hitting the big lotto. Imagine I hit the big lotto. Yeah? And then I decide to buy Manchester United. I buy Manchester United now. Somehow I've won 4 billion. I don't know which lotto's giving that out. But I've won 4 billion. I buy Manchester United. So imagine I buy Manchester United now. I would be irresponsible to not put people into positions that know what they are doing. I would be playing around with my own money. The thing is, and the mad side to this is, the Glazers, yeah, have done such a mad flip on Manchester United. They've done such a mad flip on Manchester United. They've gone to the roulette table with 350 and a bank loan, and they've flipped it into 4 billion. So now, even if they were to hold on to this club for a year, 2 years too long, and the price decreases by 500 million, they don't give two shits. They're in profit, bruv. They've already sucked out 1 billion, so they're already in profit regardless, and they're already in profit. They've made 10 times, 15 times the amount they would have spent on the club. They bought this club with loans, so they're always going to be making a profit. So their urgency to sell isn't going to be there. They are just looking to suck us dry. Look at the New York Yankees. They just sell stuff off them being the New York Yankees. That's what we are fast becoming. Fast becoming that. And whether Ollie's the man or not, I don't think he is. This isn't going to fix with until we get someone making the right decisions, until we get correct people in the correct places, until these Glazers fuck off, because since they arrived in 2005, we've gone on a hide into nothing, which was just delayed by Sir Alex Ferguson's goatness. I was sad there today, Not gonna lie. I sat there in Old Trafford, right to the end, right to the full-time whistle, and just soaked that in. Soaked the pain in. Soaked the atmosphere in. You can soak the success in. You have to soak this in. So I want to remember this day when United win something big again, whether it's against, whether it's in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I want to remember that because that was a bad day today. It's been one of the worst days in my time following Man United. And that shows you, how spoilt we've been. People that are my age, how spoilt we have been, that shows you. But it was one of the worst days. It was up there with getting battered 3-0 off Liverpool under David Moyes. It was up there with that. Because that felt like a real wounder today. A real wounder. One of the darkest days for me as a Man United fan. And I just thought, I got to soak this in and feel this in. Because if you don't love this club through the bad times, you can't enjoy the good times. And sometimes you just got to taste it, breathe it in. We'll be back. I just don't know when. And I just don't know if we will be with these cunts in charge. Because look, we could sack Ollie tomorrow. And you could say he deserves it, yeah? We appoint Poch next month. Poch comes in with this team. No signings, by the way, because we don't do signings in January. So we've got the same squad. Same issues. The football might be a bit better. But ultimately the same frailties. And that's why even if we were to bring in a Pochettino, I would wait till the end of the season anyway. Just so hopefully that they can, have a little bit more luck in terms of starting afresh, having a full pre-season, etc. But yeah, this wasn't me defending Ollie or trying to say give him time or trying to do any of that. This was me just being real and saying today is a culmination of 6-7 years bad management from top to bottom at Manchester United. When you look out on the pitch and you see what players are there, it's a culmination of bad decision making when signing players and in recruitment. When you look in the dugout and you see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that's a result and a culmination of bad decision making by those making footballing decisions. When you look around Old Trafford and you see a battered stadium and empty seats, that's a result of fans that are disillusioned, of a stadium that's not been looked after, not been maintained, not been managed. It's a result of the Glazer ownership and the Glazer effect on the club, and they've absolutely ripped the heart out of this club. The fans, we start off every game, the Red Army have been great for the atmosphere at Man United, and we start off every game and we're bouncing and we're bubbly, and slowly but surely that gets sucked out of you. And the fans won't turn on Ollie. We won't turn on Ollie. That's one thing. He's one of us. Whether he's out of his depth or not, he's one of us. He's hurting like us. He's hurting like a Man United fan. And we won't turn on him. We'll turn on them bastards in the director's box. I say in the director's box, they're in fucking America somewhere in Tampa Bay. But Woodward, Cole, it's turning on them, and I'm glad it's starting to turn. If you go on full-time Devils, if you go on full-time Devils and you check out www.youtube.com/fulltime Devils and you put in Swansea review from, when was it now? From Van Gaal's time at the club. So if you look at the Swansea review from Van Gaal's time at the club, you'll be seeing I'm saying all this then. Little did I know how bad it would get. Little did I know how much worse it would be. But here we are. Guys, thank you for tuning in to AdamMcKola TV. I'm now here at the car, so I'm going to get heading home. Make sure you head over to Full-Time Devils for the fan cams and the reaction. And for now, guys, I've been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.